guys, Deck of the Week, Pauper Commander Edition again. This time I'm submitting my own motherfucking build again. Kind of made it sound like it's the first time, but if you've been watching the series, this is my second Pauper Commander deck, and albeit this will be my most competitive submitted deck. So I'm kind of excited for that. We'll get into it right now. So, who are we playing? What are we doing? So my Pauper Commander is Cormela Glamour Thief from Nuke Penna, and I love this like Art Deco style printing of her. It's really cool. She's a 4-drop Grixis, haste 2/4, vampire rogue. You can pay 1, tap, add 3 of the Grixis colors, spend it to only cast instants or sorceries. So she's a spell slinger. When she dies, return up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So a lot going on with this card. She has a death trigger, and she has a mana ability, and she has haste, which lets us use her mana ability right away, which is big. Now, this is not my original brew. This is a copy, or I'd say a more so guided brew that I found within the Pauper rules, or the Pauper Commander scene. So shout out the PDH crew, the CPDH crew. I don't know who originally came up with this brew, so can't really shout out the specific person, but if we get the original list or I get a couple of them, I'll just throw them all in the description of the YouTube so we can get other ideas. Because I'd have to say my list, while it is competitive, it's not the most competitive. I feel like it could get even crazier, and we'll get into it. So we'll start off with creatures. My creature base is pretty specific. I want to get into, these are my tutors. We have transmute cards. So cards like Muddle the Mixture for my normal commander players, EDH players, you probably know that card. We're going to use and rely on a lot of the transmute cards if we don't really have much action going on in our hand to get into our combos. Drift of Phantasms, we'll look for a 3-cost card. Transmute Dimir Infiltrator for a 2-cost card. Those are usually going to pull out like my Impact Tremors for Dimir Infiltrator. And then Drift of Phantasms would pull out like a Phyrexian Ghoul situation. Because what I want to do ultimately is have my commander, let's say Phyrexian Ghoul or Viscera Seer, and then just real quick jumping all over the place, what the combo focus of this deck is, you're going to have Phyrexian Ghoul out, your commander out, or Viscera Seer, whichever lets you just get a free sack outlet. Then you're going to want to get into a situation where you have a spell like Demonic Gifts, which lets your commander, when it dies, it just comes back. So sack our commander, it comes back. Tap for mana off of it to get unlimited mana. Some stuff will give us treasure that we could use, like if it comes in tapped, at least Fake Your Own Death will give us a treasure token. So once we get unlimited mana, from there, what we're going to do is cast like Capsize, Deadly Dispute, we'll have Impact Tremors out, and just basically ping everyone to death in some form. So that's what the whole deal is here. We can go over each individual thing a bit more, or just generally. But that's the deal. So my creatures I was choosing were the typical search creatures. My sack outlets will be like Nantuko Husk, Viscera Seer, Phyrexian Ghoul, just because they're free. There's literally, it just says sack a creature to activate them. That's free real estate right there. Same with Corpse Blockade. I don't see a lot of people in the format thinking or considering this one, but I think it's a good hidden free gem to block her at worst. And if we're going to have any more of these guys, we could lose one of them to get into the next one. Just some funny things I thought would be cool. If we can't necessarily have my commander here, if we can't have my commander like return and bounce back with that combo I was showing you guys, we could just do Elder Fang Disciple or Virus Beetle to just fuck over our opponents. When Elder Fang Disciple enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card, so I could just like make you guys discard your whole hand as a funny combo. Or I could have, or Virus Beetle does the same thing, sorry, reading the card explains the card. But I could have one of these two do the same thing just to fuck with people and be a little trolly. My rest of my creatures, I guess we can finish it up, sorry about that. Koma's Faithful is also a similar situation, although I need to add Felden's Cane, because this reads, when this dies, each player mills 3, and I could mill everyone out to death, but I need to be able to save myself so I don't mill myself out. I took it out, but Felden's Cane would fix that situation. So just a little heads up. Mirror Shell Crab's nice because it says discard Mirror Shell Crab, counter target spell or ability unless its controller pays 3. So it's kind of like a stifle on a creature, but also just also counter spell with an additional pay 3. Those are usually pretty good in any format. Now, my instants are going to be the bulk of this, and it's just because they're going to be doing, I need to do a lot of stuff at instant speed. I'm going to need a lot of cantrips. Cantrips are stuff that replaces from your hand and draws you a card, but also I'm going to have a lot of counter spells. So we can get into the counters, and then the rest would be like the bringing stuff back combo pieces. So Turn Aside is really, really good in my opinion. Yeah, let's get these back here. Counter target spell, it targets a permanent you control. I'd look into this. Make Disappear is just another general use one. Scatter Arc is a nice 4-drop counter. No one really sees it coming. It's not really easily telegraphed. And it's a cantrip because it lets you draw a card. Disrupt is a classic. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1, but it gives you a cantrip ability of drawing a card. Arcane Denial. Now, this is why I feel like an offer you can't refuse is better than Arcane Denial, just because it gives the opponent 2 treasures where this says counter target spell. Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep, but you get to draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. So this gives an opponent card draw, which I feel like you don't want to give in a competitive sweaty scene, but I've seen it used in my Commander League, my Pauper Commander League. The guy got the 2 cards, but he still lost, so it's kind of like, I get what's going on. Negate's just a classic one to have, and again, since we're only dealing in commons, we just got to pull out the best ones, the best of the best, and just whatever was use case at the time. Daze is really good because this is an alternative casting cost. You can return an island to its hand rather than pay its cost. Counter target spell unless it pays 1. I just think that's good. Muddle the Mixture, again, this is a classic. My EDH players, you know this one. This is just going to help transmute for a 2-cost card, which is more than likely going to be like Impact Tremors. Same with Perplex, it's a counter, but it's really going to transmute for like my Phyrexian Altar, just to get into my combos. Really important for me to do that. The rest of my instants will be pretty interesting. Demonic Gifts, Fake Your Own Death, Supernatural Stamina, Feign Death, and Return to Action all kind of do the same thing. You're going to want to cast these on Cormela or the other creatures I stated that kind of just fuck over your opponents, like your Scarab Beetle, to get into the Viserys Eater combo, because these, until end of turn, target creature has, when this dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control, or when this dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. This is the only one out of all the spells that will bring them in untapped, so you need to consider the tapped ability for your unlimited combo, because that could fuck you all up. And just to highlight, Feign Death is, even though it's a common, it's kind of an expensive piece, and I think it's because of Pauper 60 card format. We're going to need a lot of mana ramp, so I have Seething Song and Dark Ritual. They will come in handy. Since Cormela returns instants or sorceries from the graveyard as well, these will become a part of like the unlimited mana situation. If she's going to come in tapped, at the very least, we'll have a way to do something else. Reality Hemorrhage is also kind of funny if she's returning instants and sorceries to our hand. If we don't got like an Impact Tremors or like a Capsize, I'll Reality Hemorrhage like the whole board, you know? 2 damage to target creature or player. I don't see this one in a lot of lists. I think it's really interesting. I think I have a really niche case, so that's good. Deadly Dispute and Village Rites are just sack outlets, although they don't stay forever. I think there's a way, since I'm talking about it, maybe Village Rites we could return and use as a sack outlet forever. Same with Deadly Dispute for the 3-card combo, if you don't got like Viserys Seer or Nantuko Husk. So we'll have to see, but these again will help just sack and get things revved up. Shred Memory is just searching, just transmute for 2. Probably going to be for Impact Tremors. Capsize is just your combo piece. What you're going to do with the unlimited mana is cast it for 3, buy back for 3 a bunch of times to return everything to their owner's hands and just make everyone scoop. Throw Possibility is just good for drawing, and same with Demand Answers. I just added these in. Just discard shit into my grave because she returns spells like instants and sorceries. Fine, discard my combo piece into my grave to draw 2. That'll help. Thought Scour is nice because we're just going to mill someone out, and it's a cantrip that draws. Brainstorm, Unsummon, just simple blue stuff. Now, our sorceries are really good. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw a card. This could be for Cormela or for Nantuko Husk. Let's say I did Thrill of Possibilities, use Nantuko Husk as a discarded card. Recover, we'll get it back later so I can get into my stuff. But normally, a Cormela Glamour Thief combo should be ending the game by turn 4. This stuff I'm thinking about like turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. This is all kind of later. If shit doesn't, there's more of a mid-range long game for this deck. If no one popped off and won your pod by the early game, this one will then be the next one. I feel, you know, that's my opinion. Merchant Scroll is good in any commander deck or competitive deck, but just any competitive deck in general running blue. Search your library for a blue instant card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Just getting your combo pieces out there. Step through wizard cycling. It's going to help get my combo pieces. There's Viscera Seer is a wizard, so it'll help search for that. Grape Shot, again, since we're going to get unlimited mana, this will be used to storm off and kill the whole board. Exhume also helps get into our unlimited combo. Wrangle, we could unlimited combo since this is a sorcery. Gain control of target creature, power 4 or less, gains haste until end of turn. Just kind of unlimited, use Wrangle to steal the whole board's creatures and just swing on people maybe. That'd be funny. Rolling Thunder, again, if we're going to have unlimited mana, we can just pay into it. And since it's a 2 cost technically, it could be tutored for anything that's going to search for 2. Compulsive Research, just good draw. Serum Visions, again, it's kind of a cantrip, but Scry is going to help us out for the late game. Tormenting Voice is just similar to Demand Answers. We're just trying to draw as fast as possible. Same with Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting helps us discard. We can fill the grave too, get our combos going. Preordained is just classic. Gataxian Probe has to be used in any competitive blue deck. I'm just going to tell you now. Especially if you got prowess stuff, this is really good. Dream Cache, draw easy. I'm just kind of going over these. Now, Portent, I don't see used in any lists, and maybe I have to double check myself. Maybe I'm talking out of the ass. But why this is good, if your opponent has stuff on the top of their library that they tutored for, and I'm just talking even outside of Pauper Commander. Say Commander, your opponent used like a tutor to look for something it puts on top of their library. This will let you shuffle that player's library. You could shuffle, so look at the top 3 cards of target player's library. It could be anybody. Put them back in any order. You may have that player shuffle their library. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. I'm going to be using this probably as more of a not on me spell, probably on my opponents. Just real quick, enchantments, impact tremors we talked about a lot. This is just going to help end the board. If my commander is going to keep unlimited entering and leaving the battlefield, this says when a creature enters the battlefield under your control, does 1 damage to each opponent. Boom, done. Easy peasy. Evanescent Intellect is not used in a lot of lists, and especially in Cormela. I'm just kind of fucking around with it just to be trolly. If we get to a mid to late game situation, I'm going to use this to pay 2, target player mills 3. If I could use this early, I will, like my Scarab Beetle or anything I'm using to sack, it'll kind of come back. So I don't really necessarily need to use it. Won't come back with the aura, but I could attach it on, use this, and then sack it to get stuff going on, okay? I just kind of see some avenues with this, and I'm a big fan, big advocate of just trying to mill opponents. It's a little slow, but still, it will be good for mid-range. I trust the process. Now, my artifacts are just my typical ramp stuff. Lotus Petal, really competitive, you need to have it. Arkham's Astrolabe, although I don't have Trinket Mage, which would be used for this card, it's basically a free cantrip, and since I'm running all Snowlands, easy peasy. Demir Signet, Izzet Signet, kind of slow ramp, I feel, since I'm trying to get for a turn 4 win. I don't think these are going to help me get there, but they're there just to have them. And then last but not least, we're going to get into, hang on, give me a second. Last but not least, we're going to get into some combo pieces. Ornithopter, again, this will be just a free 0-cost cast spell. We can cast our Feign Death on it or fake your own death on it. Have Ashnod's Altar out, my final artifact. Get the damn combo going as well and have Impact Tremors out or just a Storm ability for Grape Shot. So that's my artifacts. And then my lands, Bojuka Bog you need in any competitive build or at least Tormod's Crypt because you're going to want to get rid of people's graveyards. Barren Moor, it's not really a land, more so just cycling to draw. And just some split mana, and then I use all of the, just to pimp out the deck, Snowlands, because I do have snow spells. And I want to point out, I don't know how good they are in the competitive scene, but Pauper Commander staples I feel would be the Maestro Obscura, pardon me, New Capenna Searchlands, just because they're 1 health gain, and they let you search for any of your colors across the whole cycle. So they're good wild cards in my opinion. So I threw in the whole thing in them, the whole cycle in my deck. So yeah, that's my whole deck. That's my Cormela, the Glamour Thief, Pauper Commander build. Again, this is a competitive build. When I first played it, I've gotten pretty good results. In my Commander League, I didn't do shit, and I should have shuffled and maybe mulliganed down to, or I should have mulliganed down to 4 as opposed to keeping my mulligan of 5. This deck too, since it's combo reliant, you need to get your mullies really well. You need to search deep in this deck to get into a good position. If you're not going to consider a mid to late game win, then you need to really get your shuffles and your mullies down to get that early stuff. So that's my build. Let me know what you guys think. Any of the Pauper Commander guys, if any of you guys are the original brewers, feel free to give a shout in the comments. Today is April 25th. I will have this episode of Deck of the Week cut from the live segment next Wednesday, April 30th. So really appreciate you guys on the Deck of the Week segment. Let me know what you feel about this Pauper Commander series. And yeah,